Welcome to the warm-up, everybody. Thanks again for joining us. I'm your host, Neil Beasley. We're rocking and rolling now through the Texas high school football season. So once again, for another week, it's time to get you warmed up. Let's get things started as we dive into some big-time Week 3 matchups in the Louisiana Hot Sauce Hot Zone. This is probably the most stacked schedule of monster games you'll find in the Houston area all year. So let's talk about what will be our game of the week as number 5 Summer Creek visits number 3 Klein Collins. As much as we talk about District 21 6A and their Big Four, simply cannot ignore what Klein Collins is doing in the Houston area. Always a stout defensive team, this year's Tigers look to have a terrific balance of a high-powered offense to go along with that stingy D. Tucker Parks behind center has led Collins to big non-district wins over Magnolia and Pearland Dawson. However, Friday night will be the Tigers' biggest test as they take on the Bulldogs of Summer Creek and running back Lord Avant. It's difficult to stand out in a district that has North Shore and Atascocita in it, but Summer Creek is coming out of the shadows. They, too, had some solid non-district victories over Klein Kane and Clear Falls. This game may come down to who imposes their style first. How about 19-6A district opener with the winner being the odds-on favorite to take the district crown? Katy versus Tompkins is the top billing in that competitive Katy ISD district, and they battle each other at Rhodes Stadium Friday night. Both teams are coming off extremely tough losses, but they need to erase any negative thoughts immediately because now it's time for the games that count. Tompkins had a back-and-forth game with Bridgeland, so they lost to the Bears in overtime on a walk-off touchdown. However, Wyatt Young proved to be hard to deal with for the Falcons as he scored 5 touchdowns in the loss. He'll be a pivotal player in this week's game with the Tigers for sure. Katy had to go into Humble to take on number 2 Atascocita last week and only lost by a score. Katy's ground attack hard to stop as usual, but head coach Gary Joseph will need his defense to tighten the screws if he wants the Tigers to start off district play with a dub.
The Hot Zone is presented by the original Louisiana brand hot sauce. When you need to bring the heat, make all your game day snacks better with Louisiana hot sauce. Warm up your game day with the authentic flavors of ancient cooking. So thin, so crisp, so good, Xochitl.
We caught up with University of Houston commit Maurice Williams of Shadow Creek in the recruiting trail presented by Xochitl, chips and salsa.
My name is Maurice Williams, and I go to Shadow Creek High School, and I play safety. On top of it being so close to home, more people, my family is all, I'm raised from Houston. My grandmother is from Third Ward, Houston, But just feeling like I'm part of a family there. Everybody is cool. I know a lot of guys there. It's just more like closer to home, more of a comfortable feeling, It was a really tough decision. Not even gonna lie, it was a really tough decision, but it's God's will at the end of the day, and that's what it was at the end of the day. I think what separates me on the field is just my energy, my tenacity that I bring, the energy that I bring on the field. I don't really do a lot of talking unless I get a lot of talking done to me, but once I'm there, I bring that energy, I bring the hype. I make my teammates laugh on and off the field, I just keep the team up, even when we're down, we got to stay up because at the end of the day, you're never truly down until that clock rings 0. Things I'm going to miss is just being out on this field with these guys, coming out here practicing every day, everything, being on the field with these guys, taking the wins after the games, being in a locker room, before the games, being in a locker room with these guys, the school, everything. I feel like I'm already starting to reminisce a little bit, because I'm graduating here in a few months in December. So I'm starting to already reminisce and getting my feelings about it. But I'm gonna miss everything about it. Playing with these guys on this field is definitely gonna be a big part of my life, something that I'll never forget. So when I was in I think it was first grade, I can't remember which grade I was in, but when we graduated and I left this class with my teacher, this is something that she told me about myself. She wrote one word to describe all of her students, and the word she chose for me was charismatic. And at the time, I didn't know what that word meant, but she explained to me what the word meant, and charismatic basically is just somebody that makes everybody laugh, somebody that cheers everybody up when they're down. You know, just somebody that's always the positive mood, the positive life for everybody. And that's something that I want to be remembered as. That's something that stuck with me, and that's what I consider myself as. A very charismatic person, very lovable, joyful person. I like to make everybody laugh. I like to see everybody in a good mood because, you know, positivity is everything.
We can't get our cameras to all the big games, so here's some other games to keep an eye out for in the Hype. Houston-Lamar takes on Clear Falls this Friday, which should be a fantastic game. Knights have stacked their non-district schedule, and because of that, hey, they're still winless on the season, but that doesn't mean they aren't a quality team. Landon Vessel brings experience and arm strength to the quarterback position for Clear Falls, and he's got Peyton Greer in the backfield to produce the tough yards. The defense hasn't made the stops necessary to pull off some victories, but that's something head coach Zach Head feels can happen with experience. Meanwhile, Lamar is clicking on all cylinders, simply dominating win over the Woodlands last Friday, propelled the Texans into our top 10. If you haven't had a chance to see Tristan Brown run routes for Lamar, you need to. His speed at the wide receiver position, hard to guard, and with Jordan Reeves controlling the signal calling, the Texans look like a team who could go undefeated in the regular season. Knock on wood, we'll see. Fort Bend Hightower had one of the most impressive wins of Week 2 as they completely shut down Spring Westfield's offense in a 14-9 win. Hurricanes only gave up one big play to the Mustangs, and that win took them to number 7 in our coaches poll. This week, they start district play against Fort Bend Travis. The Tigers are also undefeated and have a lot of experience on both sides of the ball, with 15 starters coming back. Travis has had victories over Spring and Richmond Foster. They're hoping to get their district slate started off right with an upset of Hightower. That's a tall task. Hurricanes have a D1 talent on the offensive side of the ball with Oklahoma-bound Zion Kearney, and they got running back Jeremy Payne, plus the elusiveness of quarterback JoJo Stewart. Travis will need to stay close early to keep this game close.
Warm up your game day with the authentic flavors of ancient cooking. So thin, so crisp, so good, Xochitl.
Let's take a look back at who won our defensive title belt, plus see who might be in the running for one this week in The Buzz. Last week, Texas City earned the defensive title belt with huge plays down the stretch to preserve a 17-10 win over Galveston Ball. The Stingerees had a couple bone-crushing hits and a huge fourth down stop in the red zone to seal the victory. This week, New Caney could be in line for that belt as they take on Willis. The Eagles, though, will need to find a way to slow down Florida commit DJ Lagway of Willis. But if they do, it could set up nicely for them to snag the title belt. That's going to do it for today's show. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you are all warmed up for this week's Texas high school football.